Ladies and gentlemen, this guy has had 2 top 10 albums, 7 top 15 singles, Haircut 100 frontman and solo artist himself, Mr. Nick Heyward. Nick, how are you?
Oh, great, Scotty. How are you?
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm fantastic now. I'm talking to you.
Is it a fantastic day?
And I can't believe you've got that link in already.
Yeah, you know, I've thought about it. Actually, lots of musicians are becoming DJs.
I know. Well, I tried it the other way. I tried to be a musician first, but that didn't quite work out for me. So I do this instead.
Yeah, well, we're all enthusiasts, music enthusiasts, you know.
I was going to say, Nick, I was DJing last night, and a lot of DJs, when they go to the 1980s, they do tend to play Soft Cell's Tainted Love, but I always play Favourite Shirts, because I thought it was such a fast dance floor anthem, and again, last night, people getting up and dancing straight away. It's a fantastic song.
Do you know, it's amazing how people dance to it, 'cause it's so fast. The pace is relentless. Our drummer, Pat, wasn't really getting it. We did take after take after take. It was getting faster and faster and faster, and he was going, "I'll get it, don't worry, I'll get it." So so thank you to Pat. That's why it's so fast. But we took the acetate down to Club for Heroes, I think it was, in Baker Street, to test it out, Les and I. And we walked in there and we gave it to the DJ, and we thought, you know, oh God, what's he going to do? And we would, you know, watch the dance floor with anticipation, and there was like hardly anyone on there. And then somebody came up and started dancing, and that moment was amazing, because I thought, wow, we've made something that somebody's danced to. That's enough for me. That's it.
Well, I've got to say, I mean, 1981 for me, Nick, was my favourite year. In the summer, we had Adam and the Ants Stand and Deliver, and then to take us up to Christmas, we had Haircut 100's Favourite Shirts. It was brilliant.
It was a great time for music. I mean, we wouldn't have really, you know, to be clear, we would not have come up with Favourite Shirts had there not been chart number 1. I mean, that was leading the way in that. When Spandau did that, they really were leading the way in fashion at that particular time. They really inspired lots of people.
I mean, the early 80s were brilliant. I mean, the lyrics were good, the music was good, and it wasn't just about the music, it was the fashion. It's probably been the only time in my life where I actually followed fashion for a few years. I think I still got the sheepskin boots somewhere.
Well, it's actually coming around in a cycle. My daughter, you know, she was dressed up to go out, and I looked at her and I thought, you could have actually been going out in 1981 for the evening, dressed like you are there, sweetheart. I said, that's exactly how your mum used to dress. You know?
I mean, I've got to say, Nick, I mean, massive success in the 80s, and it continued in the 1990s. I mean, I've had a look at the Guinness Book of Its singles, over 3 years in the charts, and of course, over the last couple of years, we've had all the re-emergence of these big 80s rewind festivals, and you're up there in front of hundreds of thousands of people again. I mean, what's on the agenda for this year?
Well, I've just started to do more of this stuff and more festivals, and it's really popular. It's a bit like, can't believe it, but it's cool.
No, I think it's brilliant. I mean, Adam and the Ants have just released a new album. Are there any plans maybe for Haircut 100 to release a new album?
Well, Haircut, we've found the original recordings for the second album. And it's really quite sad when we listen to them, actually, because there's one track, and it's called Sunny Boy, Sunny Girl, and it would have just been the next single that would have been a hit. It just has that. I mean, it was going to be the B-side of Love Plus One, and the record company said, well, we can't put that as a B-side, that's a single, that's your next single. And then we split up, so it's a bit like, it just stayed there. It's like the boat, you know, the Mary Celeste. Everybody jumped ship, and the boat was still there. Now we've found it floating around in the sea, and we've all got on board and gone, oh my God, look. So it's like we're just picking up from where we left off. So we're releasing it, and we got together as well a couple of years ago and did some new tracks. So there'll be old, and there's new stuff that is from, you know, now. So it's
excellent. So, I mean, is there any kind of date in your mind when this is going to be released, Nick?
Well, we seem to be aiming for sort of Christmas. But that's because it's a good time. But I don't think it'll be ready for Christmas. I keep saying to everybody, you know, really, you know, I think that's an old school thing for everybody to get ready for Christmas. The way I look at it is when it's ready and it's done, and that's when you make it available to people.
I know, but I've got to mention Top of the Pops as well. I was talking to Billy Ray Martin a couple of weeks ago, and she said she got so excited being on the show that she danced like a mentalist. And I've had a little look on YouTube, and honestly, she did. She danced like a frog in a blender.
Frog in a blender.
But have you got any fond memories? Because you was on Top of the Pops loads.
Yeah, loads.
Now, unfortunately, we had a bit of a technical error, so we missed a nice little story about Top of the Pops and an interest about Nick coming to Lanzarote with Haircut 100. But I did manage to get back in touch with him to introduce this great little song.
It is always a fantastic day!
Yeah. Cheers, Nick. You've been an absolute star, and I look forward to seeing you and Haircut 100 in Lanzarote soon.
Cheers, Scotty.
Have a great weekend.
Likewise. Bye.
This is Power FM.